Hello to you all. Thank you all for joining me. Today's Farmers A-Site edition. So today we're going to look at quality seedling production. I remain Nafisat Lawal. Thank you all for joining me today. So today we're going to look about why do we need quality seedling production, of what importance to it to farmers. Does it have any effect on farmers' profitability? Does it have effect on farmers' production? Of what economic benefit it says to farmer? Of what advantage it says to farmer? So stay tuned and let's unravel this together. Raising quality seedlings for a better yield. Yeah, for us to have a better yield, most especially in fruit and vegetable production, we need to have access and adopt quality seedling in our production. So, some of the economic crops, value crop of fruit and vegetables that requires more of quality seed raisins are tomatoes, eggplant, and bell pepper. These are highly economic valued crops, and if grown in a protected cultivation, you can have it in all year round season. And for open feed production, it can also be targeted at their scarce period, the period where we don't mostly have these that are not readily available in our market, in our local market. So when an open feed farmers can successfully raise this fruit for consumption, they are highly demand. So for us to achieve this, it requires adopting a quality seedling for production. Yeah, economic value crops requires specific nurture and care. When we talk about seedling, it requires you giving it an adequate nurture and care. They are very sensitive, fragile, so you need to give them an adequate care and a nurture. Seed for seedling. Most of our seedlings are derived from our seed. So that is why we mostly say seedling are raised. And that is why we say we sow seed while we transplant seedling. You understand? I don't say I sow seed, I sow seedling. No, you transplant seedling while you sow a seed. So that's why I say seed for seedlings. Yeah, for we to have a quality seedling production or a seed raising, it is important we understand the basic principles for seedling production. Before we go further to purchase our seed for to raise seedlings, it is better we understand what quantity of seedling does our land area requires. For example, if we are going to raise a seedling in a 10,000 meter square of land, that is exactly now 1 hectareage of a land for cultivation. It is important we understand that how many beds are we going to have in a 1 hectares of land. Let's assume we have 66 beds in 100 by 100 standard meter square of land. and we have an interspacing of one bed to another bed for like zero point 0.5 to 0.5 meter. You understand? So let's use a bed for example. Let's assume that probably I want to transplant a particular crops that requires like 20 centimeter to 20 centimeter. That's 20 centimeter interspacing from one crop to another on a particular bed. And that bed is a 400 meter, an 100 meter square bed. So let's assume that we have 200. We are going to have a 200 seedlings, you understand, in one bed. So it is you can simply um, extrapolate that 200 seedlings in one bed multiplied by 67 numbers of cell numbers, and that is total numbers of bed we have. So 200 times 67 will give us an exact figure of numbers of seedlings that will be required in that specific land area. So we need to add more for our seed loss, you understand? So that's an added seed. So because we cannot raise the exact numbers of seedling we need an additional seedlings like a buffer for our production. So for we to get that, let's assume that we are going to use like 20% buffer for our seedling production. So let's 20%, let's assume that our total seedling production that we need for that particular line is 4,000. So 20% of 4,000, and that's 1,600. And we should also know that we are going to add that 20% to the initial number of exact seedling we need. So 4,000 plus 1,600 will give us that's 5,600, a total number of seedling that will be required for a land production. Yeah. So after we've been able to know our exact numbers of seedling or quantity of seedling requires in our specific land area for production, then we can go ahead with our seedling production. So after then the next thing for us is to get a a quality seed from a reputable seed companies. So after that, then we try to get a seed trays. We try to get a growing medium and a growing medium, and we provide an ideal growing condition for the seedlings. So it is important we also know that okay, our inputs for seeds production for seedling production are determined by the numbers or quantity of seedlings we want to raise. Then the quantity of the growing medium being the seed tray, or the growing media being the cocoa pit and the potty soil or the brick, you understand, that we need in the production of our specific quantity of seedling are determined by the numbers or quantity of seedling that is required in our specific land area. So after we've done that, then we prepare our growing media. So you should know that our cocoa pits can be used for raising our seedlings, and we can add some nutrients. And if we have we can all we need is something that will give it an anchorage support, and it is also free from death and disease, you understand. So it can give us not a quality seedling, a disease free seedling, which is also healthy, you understand. So then after we've been able to do this, we fill our seed trays with our growing media. Then we make some holes. You should also know that your holes are not meant to be too deep, and they are also not meant to be too shallow, because when they're too deep, it prevents your seed from emerging. When they're too shallow, it's also you can easily lose your seed. You understand? So during when you're waiting and irrigating, things like that. So when after you've done that, you try to maintain a very good growing condition. Nurture your seed, give it the care it requires. Then after some days, depending on the day specified in the seed labels, then you can be expecting germination of your seed emergence. Then they start emerging where you see them coming up. Then that's so. And after you've seen that, then you can estimate for your germination percentage. So let's assume that you sow 10 seed in your trays, and you're able to have if 5 seed grows out of the 10 seed, it simply means you have 50% germination. If 1 seed grows, it simply means you have 10% germination. And if you're lucky, like you're super lucky, and all the 10 seed grows, it also simply means you have 100% germination. That's a great one, bro. So you have this germination percentage, then you nurture your seed. Uh, while you're raising your seedlings, you can also be preparing your land, so that you can transplant your seedling and your crops keep growing, flourishing, and you have a bountiful harvest in return for going through all this process. So it is important for us to know that this is a seedling root. This is a sign of a quality seedlings. Then their roots are not brown. So you can see them. The seed and the roots are well formed. You understand? So you should know that quality seed raising curtail production costs related to poor seed performance. So when you have a good seedlings, or you adopt a good seedling for your production cycle, it's it curtails production costs related to poor seed performance. You understand, mostly experienced by farmers. And I will also like to tell you all that improving knowledge practice on quality seedling production can improve farmers' profit. Yes, when you have a good seedling production, it reduces your cost of production. You understand? Because it starts with a good and healthy seedling. You understand? Which give you a very good starting point. And I would also like to inform you further that raising quality seedling need a good technical support with ideal growing condition. Yes, you need a good technical expert to take care of your seedlings. You need someone that can give it the nurture, that can give it the care. You understand? That can give it all necessary requirements for you to achieve um, a a good result. You understand? And you also need to provide a ideal growing condition for your seedlings. So I think it's an interesting insight in taking you all through on how your seed transform to seedlings, and how you later transplant it. You understand? So it is best you adopt a good seedling in your fruit and vegetable production. This give you a, a, a positive starting, like a good starting in your production line. So thank you all for joining me, and thank you all for having this wonderful insight today. I'm sure you'll be more convinced of why you need a quality seedling for your production, why you need to pay more attention improving your knowledge practice in seedling production, and why you need a technical support embracing a quality seedling for your production. Remember, you need to start well, and this will give you a better leverage to have a beautiful and a bountiful harvest in return. So thank you all for watching, and stay tuned. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Stay connected and watch out for my next video. Thank you.